day 1. He is terrified. Every sound could be his last. Every shadow hides a threat. His hands shake. His heart pounds. He cannot eat. He cannot sleep. Day 100. He eats his rations during shelling. He sleeps through mortar impacts. He jokes about death like it is a co-worker he does not like very much. The war has not changed. He has. And he does not know if that means he has survived or if he has already lost something he will never get back. This is the timeline of a soldier's brain at war. What breaks, what adapts, and what never recovers. The first day of combat is not like the movies. There is no heroic charge, no slow-motion determination. There is only noise and confusion and a body that seems to belong to someone else. James Crawford remembers his first day like it was carved into him. His unit came under fire, crossing an open field. He dropped to the ground before he knew what he was doing. His body hit the dirt. His hands covered his head. He lay there, breathing mud, unable to move. He did not fire his weapon. He did not help anyone. He just survived, and he hated himself for it. Here is what the training manuals do not tell you. The first day is not about courage. It is about not falling apart. The body floods with cortisol and adrenaline. The heart rate spikes to 170 beats per minute or more. Fine motor skills vanish. The hands shake. The vision narrows. The brain stops thinking and starts reacting. The soldier who stands up and fights on day 1 is not braver than the one who stays down. His nervous system simply responded differently, faster, with less freeze. James stayed down, and that night, alone in his foxhole, he made a promise to himself. Tomorrow, he would do better. By day 7, something has already begun to change. Not the danger. The danger is still there, still real, still deadly. But James's brain has started to turn down the volume on certain alarms. The distant gunfire that made him flinch on day 1 now makes him look up out of habit. His hands no longer shake when he hears an incoming shell. He still feels fear, but it is quieter, further away, like a radio playing in another room. Psychologists call this acute habituation. The brain, faced with repeated stress, begins to reduce its response. It is efficient. It saves energy. It allows the soldier to function, but it comes with a cost that James cannot yet see. The things that should terrify him are becoming ordinary. He fires his weapon for the first time on day 7. A shape in the trees. He does not know if he hit anything. He does not stop to check. The patrol keeps moving. That night, he does not think about it. He is too tired to think about anything. This is the beginning of the transformation. By day 30, fear has become unfamiliar. James cannot remember exactly when it left. It was not a single moment. It was a slow fade, like a photograph losing its color over time. He eats during bombardments now. He sleeps through what used to wake him. He has stopped flinching. This is not courage. This is neural adaptation. The amygdala, the brain's alarm system, has recalibrated. What once triggered a full-body panic response now barely registers. The brain has decided that these sounds, these sights, these smells are not immediate threats. Not because they are safe, because they have not killed him yet. But here is the problem. The war has not become safe. James's brain has just stopped telling him how dangerous it really is. On day 32, a mortar lands 40 meters from his position. He does not dive for cover. He finishes his cigarette. Then he walks slowly to a trench. His sergeant yells at him, "What the hell is wrong with you?" James does not have an answer. He does not know why he did not react faster. He just knows that he did not feel like reacting, and that scares him more than the mortar ever could. By day 60, something deeper has changed. It is no longer just fear that has faded. It is the feeling of other people's suffering. James sees a man from another unit get hit. The man is screaming, begging for his mother, blood pooling on the ground. James looks at him for a second. Then he turns away. Not because he is cruel, because his brain has learned that caring about every wounded man would destroy him. There are too many. The cost of empathy is too high. So the brain simply stops offering it. Psychologists call this compassion fatigue. It is the same mechanism that burns out doctors, nurses, and social workers. But in combat, it happens faster and cuts deeper. James still helps his own unit. He still risks his life for the men he knows. But strangers, men he does not recognize, he feels nothing when they fall, and that nothing is not a choice. It is a survival mechanism that has run past its limit. On day 63, he steps over a body without looking down. He does not remember the face. He does not want to. Something else has begun to happen by day 80, something that surprises James even more than the numbness. He has started to need the danger. When the shelling stops, he feels restless. When the patrol ends, he feels empty. Silence, which he once craved, now feels like a kind of suffocation. Under threat, the brain releases adrenaline, and adrenaline triggers dopamine, the same molecule at the center of every addiction. Excitement, clarity, aliveness. James has been running on that chemical cocktail for months. Now his brain craves it. He starts taking unnecessary risks, standing up too soon, moving too fast, volunteering for the most dangerous patrols. Not because he is brave, because the rest of the time he feels nothing at all, and nothing is unbearable. His sergeant pulls him aside. "Crawford, what are you looking for out there?" James does not know how to answer. How do you tell someone that you are addicted to almost dying, that your brain has forgotten how to feel alive any other way? He says nothing, and the next day he volunteers again. Day 100. James has survived 3 months of continuous combat. He has seen men die. He has killed. He has frozen. He has run. He has done things he never thought himself capable of. And now he is standing in the rain, staring at nothing, unable to remember why he is still here. Some soldiers reach day 100 and keep going. Their brains have adapted just enough to survive, not intact, not unchanged, but functional. They will finish the war. They will go home. They will carry the damage inside them for decades. Other soldiers break, not dramatically, not with screaming or collapse. They just stop. They stop eating. They stop talking. They stop caring. Their brains have run out of the chemicals needed to keep going. They are not depressed. They are not traumatized. They are simply empty. James does not break, but he comes close, closer than he will ever admit. On day 103, he is pulled from the line, sent to a rest camp, given clean clothes and hot food and a bed with sheets. He lies in that bed for 2 days. He does not move. He does not speak. He just stares at the ceiling. A nurse comes to check on him. She asks if he is okay. He opens his mouth. No words come out. His brain has gone quiet. Not peaceful, just quiet. Like a machine that has been running too hot for too long and has finally shut itself down to cool off. Here is what science has learned about the 100-day timeline. The brain can adapt to incredible stress, but adaptation has limits. After about 60 to 90 days of continuous combat exposure, the risk of psychological breakdown increases dramatically. Not because soldiers are weak, because the brain's coping mechanisms were never designed for prolonged war. Some adaptations are reversible. The hypervigilance, the startle response, the difficulty sleeping. With time and safety and help, the brain can learn to calm down. Other adaptations are not reversible. The loss of empathy, the emotional numbness, the ability to kill without feeling. Those changes leave traces. They become part of who the soldier is. James did not break at day 100. He was pulled out in time. But he was not the same man who had arrived at the front 3 months earlier. That man was gone, replaced by someone harder, colder, quieter, a version of himself that he did not entirely recognize. The war did not kill him, but it took something, and that something never came back. A study of World War II combat veterans found that those who spent more than 6 months in continuous frontline combat had significantly higher rates of PTSD, depression, and suicide decades later. Not because they were weak, because their brains had been permanently changed. The 100-day mark is not a magic number. Some soldiers break earlier, some hold on longer. But across every war, every army, every country, the pattern is the same. Prolonged combat changes the brain, and some of those changes are forever. James survived 100 days, then another 100, then another. He survived the war. He went home. He built a life. But the man who came home was not the man who left. His wife noticed it first. He was quieter. He laughed less. He would stare at nothing for long periods. When he slept, he often woke up reaching for a rifle that was not there. He did not talk about the war, not because he was hiding it, because he did not have the words. How do you explain that your brain no longer works the way it used to? The hypervigilance stayed. He could not sit with his back to a door. He scanned every room he entered. Loud noises made him hit the ground before he knew what he was doing. The emotional numbness stayed. He loved his children. He knew he loved them. But he could not always feel it. There was a wall inside him, a wall the war had built, and he did not know how to take it down. The addiction to intensity stayed. He took up dangerous hobbies, motorcycles, hunting, anything that made his heart pound. The quiet life of a civilian felt like death to him, not because he wanted danger, because his brain had forgotten how to feel alive without it. He was not broken, but he was not whole either. He was something in between, a man who had survived something that was never meant to be survived, and who would spend the rest of his life learning to live with what the war had made him. Day 1, pure fear. Day 7, the first adaptation. Day 30, the numbing. Day 60, the loss of empathy. Day 80, the addiction to adrenaline. Day 100, the edge of collapse. This is a timeline of a soldier's brain at war. It is not a story of heroism or cowardice. It is a story of biology, of a human nervous system pushed past its limits, of adaptations that keep you alive but cost you something you did not know you had. Not every soldier breaks, but every soldier changes, and the change is not always visible. It lives inside the brain, in the quiet moments, in the sleepless nights, in the distance between who they were and who they became. This is War Inside the Head, from Mind Under Fire. Every episode tracks what combat does to the brain, not the explosions, the silence afterward, not the trauma, the transformation. Next episode, 22 veterans kill themselves every day. Here's why. If this stayed with you, hit subscribe, because some wars never end.